Salve, citizen. Welcome to this epistle to the Empire of Reason. My name is Stephen Sumner. The topic is love, and the title is Blame and the Marital ICU. And we begin with a quote from Marcus Aurelius. Blame no one. If you can, correct the offender. If you can't, correct his offense. And if not even that's possible, what's the point in looking for someone to blame? As I am certain happens with most couples that have been together for years, if not decades, my wife and I ran into a rough emotional patch once. Not characterized by extreme emotion, but just distance. It was a distance with a quiet yet forceful undercurrent of blame. When you live with someone for so long, major catastrophes of the heart are easily avoided if both of you are already intent on not just being good partners or parents, but more fundamentally, being good humans. Yes, avoiding broken bones or head trauma to the figurative body of one's union is easy, but there is another danger, which is more akin to a cancer or virus. And that is the growth of little blames and grudges as the earth makes more and more revolutions around the sun. Initially, they seem not to be important. Whether it is how one's partner chooses to squeeze the toothpaste tube, clearly, rolling it up from the bottom is the proper way. Or how often they want coitus, or how much income tax should be withheld from your collective paychecks. Those little growths, although seemingly benign to begin with, can increase in size and severity, and if left unchecked, can lead to a trip to the marital ICU and a positing of the question, do we request that the doctors put a do not resuscitate sticker on the case file? While in this emotional desert with my wife, one evening I sat down with my collection of notes on the ancient Roman Stoics. Let the notebook open where it may, and fortune was being kind that day, for the first words that jumped at me were these: blame no one. Marcus Aurelius and the other Stoics were brilliant in their approaches to many of life's obstacles: death, grief, fame, money, depression. And it is apparent when they comment on the human condition, it would do well to pay attention to every single word and sentiment, especially since their thinking is based on reason, not on faith. So there I am, more distant from my wife than I'd ever been since we first met. Most mind training techniques I'd learned over the years seem to be losing their hold, and Marcus is communicating to me from across the ages. Blame no one. I decided to attempt to follow his advice, and I am fortunate that I did. Over the years, my wife, on occasion, would not live up to my expectations. She made errors in judgment that caused me suffering, or as the Stoics would say, errors that I let cause me suffering. But I also realized she could say the exact same thing about me. So I consciously told myself, willed myself, not to blame her for anything at all. And in that moment, a massive weight on my heart and mind was lifted. I could breathe again. To just see her for what she is, in the here and now, and in the majority of the time. What I was left with, now that acceptance rather than blame was at the forefront of my thought patterns. The functional realization that she is a kind, intelligent, captivatingly beautiful, patient, and loving being that I am fortunate to have in my sphere of existence. Yes, she has faults, but so do I. Blaming her for not living up to my expectations, not her problem, mine. Realizing that was the case meant I could do something about it. Now, whenever she or anyone else in the world for that matter does something I don't care for, there's Marcus Aurelius whispering in my ear, blame no one. 3 little words that can be just as important as I love you. Acta non verba. Memorize and internalize the quote at the start of this chapter, or one or more of the quotes from below. Have a daily reminder placed somewhere in your life to keep blame no one at the forefront of your thinking until it becomes a foundation stone in your character. Thank you for taking the time today to listen. If you would like a complete transcript of what I just read, please visit veritascurat.net, where you will also find additional quotes from ancient Stoics in support of the topic. And always remember, veritas curat, truth cures. Vale.